Anomaly hunting games will always be a favorite of mine, but they run into the risk of being repetitive and lacking a definitive story. And I think it was Exit 8 that set the standard for this type of game. You see an anomaly, you turn back. If you don't, you continue forward. But for this experience, we are in 1990 South Korea, confined to a small house as we are a psychiatric patient suffering from psychosis with no memory. So, distinguishing the fake from the real and the real from the fake is going to prove frustratingly difficult. Oh, and every night, somebody's going to come and bring us more medicine, but they don't look normal. Tonight we're going to be going through this experience together. Remember, this is a story explained, not a lore video. There is a difference. With me, you're getting answers and a journey. If you enjoy story deep dives or psychological analyses, hitting that like button encourages me to keep making more for you. And since you're still here, you're coming with me. I hope you're ready to find out
Who's at the door?
I'm in pain. I don't know how long I've been in pain, but I'm told to stay inside and keep taking my medicine. The doctor says 8 more days of treatment, and I should be fine to return to my normal life. My mind is in turmoil, and I know I need to keep opening that door, because those things out there have my pills, but they look sickeningly inhuman. I can't tell if she's a hallucination, but I open the door reluctantly and she gives me a sort of sinister but pitied smile before handing me my pills. The next day, the voices in my head start to screech louder, demanding that I bring them more dolls. With each doll I would find, I would uncover layers to a deeply buried secret. In the living room, I would find these photos. I don't know who these people are, but I look at them every day. The girls on the right at least have their names, but I don't know who this man is. Hearing a knock at the door, I peer into the peephole to be startled by a man peering back. He has hair coming out of his mouth. He has to be a hallucination. So I take my pills, but it turns out he, just like that bizarre fish woman from yesterday, was real. I don't know how long I've been here. This is all too much and every little thing scares me, but I can't tell what's actually happening or not. Do you know what it's like to not be able to trust your own senses? Another day, a different woman, just smiling on the other side of the door in the most unnatural way possible. Surely she must be real, since the last 2 people were real. Regrettably, opening the door, dozens of hands would try to claw their way through, causing me to black out. With my days all blending in together, time becomes irrelevant, but I do find this director's business card on my desk. It's for a place called Sunshine Clinic. The name seems familiar, so maybe I know who this is. Unless, of course, this is just another figment of my imagination. Finding the head of a doll and a letter, I hear the voice of a girl saying how she wanted to be famous, but now she can't. Soon, I would see a stethoscope hanging on a coat hanger. Has it always been there? On top of the fish tank, I'd find another note about a girl named Bori. Whoever wrote this met her at a bar where she was this beautiful singer. When this person saw her, they knew they had to get close. But something about that tone, unsettling and insistent, it's kind of scary, actually. Checking the coat hanger, I guess the stethoscope was a hallucination, but the next letter I find talks about how Bori confided in him about a man. You see, Bori had this uneasy feeling she was being stalked, so the man writing this letter offered for her to come stay with him. Now, at first, she hesitated but would agree, so the man would finish his journal entry by stating, "It's time to make his dreams come true." And something would click for me. This Bori is the same little girl from the photo next to, presumably her teacher, Miss Gomu. Later near the door, I would see a hallucination of that bizarre woman inside of here, crawling on the floor like she was trying to escape. I think Bori and this person are the same. She's just grown up, no longer a little girl. But what did that guy do to her to make her look like that? Her face, it was red like she'd been flayed. but I also have a feeling that she wasn't the only victim around here. I think it's likely that the demented bastard who did this to her probably inflicted more harm on other people. As the days progressed and my mental deteriorated into oblivion, the hallucinations would worsen. I would see a giant in my bathroom and the whole apartment would even change decor, but it's all in my head, I think, so I keep popping those pills.
Breaking news. Multiple severely mutilated bodies have been discovered at a villa up in the mountains in Gyeonggi Province. All victims were found with violent external wounds. Police are conducting search operations, considering the possibility that additional missing persons may still be alive. In particular, given the discovery of various medical instruments at the villa, investigators are focusing on the possibility that the suspect may be a practicing physician. As more information becomes available about this case, we will further update you.
For some reason, I get this feeling that the guy on the news might have something to do with this man here in the photo. The victims were severely mutilated. Who could have done such a thing, and why? The next day or week, I don't know anymore, in the kitchen, I would find an ad for that Sunshine Clinic again. It offers cheap surgery. Something tells me that this Sunshine Clinic, the doctor from the photo, and the monster from the news are connected. Was Bori one of his patients? And what about the other two people who are bringing me my meds? One day, I would step outside to notice that it was quiet. No hallucinations, it was bright and sunny, welcoming me into a new day. The window was open and so's that door. It felt odd stepping out of that small, confined house. I'll be honest, it was starting to feel more like prison. At the end of the hall was the outside world, freedom. I didn't care about the unsolved mystery. I was just happy to have a breath of fresh air.
You went outside? That's impossible. Are your symptoms getting worse? You're still taking your medication, right? Please wait just a little longer. I'll come see you soon.
My head hurts so much. I vividly remember being hit with a blunt object, but could even this be a hallucination? It feels like I'll never escape. Why am I being punished? But I guess it doesn't really matter. To be honest, this feels normal now. Like, this repetition, this loop, I find comfort in it. Looking at a paper talking about the financial crisis of 1990, it explains that, as a result of this, the desperate would turn to cults. Opening the door, the house was dark, but a doll on the floor would lead me somewhere.
Where am I? Excuse me, doctor. Someone, please.
Ah, you're awake.
What is it?
Sooner than expected.
Why am I tied up? Untie me! Right now!
I can't do that. You're about to become something more special. Of course, you're already beautiful enough. Yet beneath the surface, I believe a truly perfect form lies hidden. You'll become so beautiful, even your reflection
Please,
won't
stop
recognize
that!
you.
Don't!
Don't move. You'll mess up that flawless skin. If you keep moving, you might not turn out as pretty.
So Bori was a victim. It seems the doctor had some twisted obsession with making her into something more, to bring her to her final and perfect form. Turning on the news, they're still in search of the doctor who was performing these illegal operations on people, but that he still might have more victims in captivity. Am I the doctor's captive? Is my psychiatrist really who he says he is, and is he actually trying to help me? Moving forward, another hallucination, but this time it was a man, I think. He might have just been a guy in a costume, but he had something coming out of his mouth. He didn't do anything, he just watched me. Finding a doll of him by my pills, a voice would speak into my mind. It was him, asking if we had seen his daughter. And that's when I realized why he looked so familiar. He looks like the guy who brings me medicine, the one with hair pouring out of his mouth. Is he another victim? Oh God. Did the doctor do that to him? In the bathroom, we find another note, another journal entry. The person who wrote this says that he caught the man who was stalking Bori. His name was Taku. Taku thought Bori was his daughter because a long time ago he lost his daughter, so he followed Bori around thinking that she was his long-lost daughter. Later we'd find a note with Miss Gomu's number on it, but that's when the phone rings and a man starts speaking. We learn that Bori did in fact lose her parents, or get separated, because she ends up at this orphanage. Maybe it's a coincidence with Taku, but Miss Gomu was the teacher from Bori's orphanage. Listening to this conversation, I think it's the doctor from the Sunshine Clinic calling Miss Gomu, because he mentions how Bori is very sick and how Gomu's number was the only one written down in her notebook. He entices her to come visit Bori as she was apparently asking for her. Blinking into the next day, I found another letter where the evil doctor offered Taku a hair transplant, saying that Bori would really like it. It's also revealed that Taku fell into alcoholism due to not being able to save his daughter. From what exactly? I don't know. But Taku would agree to the doctor's offer, to which the doctor would just maniacally laugh at the drunken father. I don't know why I care so much about this story. Taku, Bori, and this house. Everything seems connected.
Oh, you're awake, Taku. That hair transplant surgery I mentioned earlier, I just came up with a really ingenious method. I'm going to do it myself for you. Your daughter will be delighted to see this too. Soon, you'll be completely transformed. Taku, open your eyes. The surgery went absolutely perfectly. Now, how about you take a look in the mirror? Even you won't recognize yourself.
Are you the teacher from the orphanage where Bori stayed? She's very sick right now. Your number was the only one written in her notebook.
Ah, yes, that's right. How is Bori?
Bori has been asking for you a lot. She must have relied on you quite a bit. If you don't mind.
Yes, I'll head there right away.
Why did he make Taku look like Smeagol? Moving forward, checking the news, the doctor had been apprehended, but when they questioned him about why he performed those cruel procedures, he gives two reasons. That human will can overcome any suffering. I guess he just wanted to put that to the test. And that past acts of brutal human experimentation should be glorified. This man is absolutely mental and unfit for society. But luckily, there's a psychiatrist ready to start working with him and hopefully to set him right. Days would pass, and I would walk out to find the door open. On the desk next to my meds was a missing child's poster. In the darkness, I would find a baby doll's head, but that's not the only thing I would find. Eventually, I'd find another letter. The doctor had been thinking about Ms. Gomu, about her family problems, but also wondering why she fell into that cult. What cult is he talking about? It didn't matter. Ms. Gomu was the doctor's next victim. Was that a dream? Or, I don't know, it seems so real. So detailed, like I was there. The doctor seemed to be scarring her back with symbols, almost like a tattoo, but definitely way deeper in her skin and without any ink. Ms. Gumu's face. She was being tortured. Finding a surgical log in the freezer, we learned that the doctor carved a sacred sigil in her back, so much so that she began to hallucinate. Was this sigil related to the cult? Was the doctor part of that cult? It seems fitting. But one day I would open my eyes and the dolls were gone, so I think the nightmare is finally over.
Where is this place? Why are you all here? What is this? Why are you doing this to me? Untie me. Right now!
The pills you took were poison that slowly eats away at your brain. Seeing you flail around lost in hallucinations was truly entertaining.
The pain and despair we endured. Now it will seep into your flesh and bones.
You're no savior. Your greed made us what we are, and now we'll become your nightmare. Aren't you excited? Our masterpiece.
It was me. This whole time, I was the doctor who did those horrible things, and these people, my creations, were just getting their revenge.
The perpetrator of those horrific human experiments has gone missing.
Yes, Mr. Kim, who had received a life sentence, was controversially released on parole 10 years ago and has since vanished without a trace.
Yes, there are also suspicions of medical record trading with higher-ups behind the parole decision, right?
Yes, human rights groups strongly opposed the decision at the time, and after his disappearance, there were even suggestions that the victims' families might have kidnapped him.
This led to renewed scrutiny of his past. His brutal crimes committed under the banner of human experimentation.
It's hard to believe that a person could do such things to another human.
Yes, the case remains unsolved, and Kim's whereabouts are still a complete mystery. Where could he possibly be? This has been Caseline. Thanks for watching.
What do you really think happened to Mr. Kim?
Well, I guess he probably didn't survive long. Honestly, someone like that deserves to be punished just as cruelly. Rip, destroy, tear apart. I'd make sure he suffers just as much, if not more, with most agonizing pain possible. And that's what I would do.
If you enjoyed this story, you might like this one too. So click the video on screen, and if you're still here, comment down below, brutal. Thanks for being a true fan.